I wanted to point out a few things in regards to the soil map. In a lot of cases, when you go to auctions or you're looking at auctions, sometimes they don't put the square footage of the soil on the map, and sometimes you just have to figure it out yourself. Because the last thing you want to do is go to an auction and not be prepared and truly understand what is going to be actually needed in order to support your desired goals at the end. And so we're just going to take a look at this soil map here, and you see Nesbit is identified as the soil here. This shape is not a square, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a little unorthodox, because all I want to do is I just want to get an idea of how big this area is. And what they do provide is they provide the lengths of the lines. And so you have L2, L3, L4, and L5. And so I'm going to take my shortest line, which is L3, and I'm just going to multiply it times my longest line, which is L4, and that is going to give me an estimated square footage for this area. It's not going to be 100%, but it's just going to give me, all I'm looking for is just an idea. What am I working with here? And so I'm going to take L3 and multiply it by L4. And so we see that L3 is 78, L4 is 125. So we're going to multiply 78 times 125. So let's do that. 78 times 125 equals 9,750 square foot. So I know that 9,750 square foot, 75-minute soil, you can get a 3-bedroom perk site with that. Now, here's something else you got to pay attention to. You see the letters WID right here. That means this site can be used, but it will require an interceptor drain. Now, I don't know if the drain has to be around the whole site, the perimeter of the site. If it does, then you're going to lose about 3 foot of your soil to compensate for the interceptor drain. But it looks to appear that there's a drain's going to be required right in this area here, where you see the double lines is where a drain will be required. That's what I'm assuming right now. Now, here's another thing. On interceptor drains and drawdown drains, you need at least 3 foot of fall from the soil area. So when you're at this, what that means is where this soil area is, the elevation of it, let's just say it's at 590, let's just say it's at 600, you need at least 597 foot elevation. So there needs to be a 3 foot difference, 3 foot of fall from the soil site, so that gravity flow will push the water on the interceptor drain out. If you don't have 3 foot of fall from your soil site, and it's just basically, your land is basically flat, TDEC is not going to give you a permit for, they're not going to give you a septic permit if you can't achieve 3 foot of fall. I personally have had this experience before on Bradyville Pike with a couple of soil sites, and so you want to make sure that you at least have 3 foot of fall from this soil site when you see WID or WDD. So we know that we're probably going to get at least a 3-bedroom perk site. A 3-bedroom perk site here. It's going to be close. And then on this soil site here, it's not a perfect square, but man, it's close enough. I'm just going to multiply L10 times L11, and we know that this soil site was split in half. And how do we know that it was split in half? Because when you go to your soil survey for the tracks, you can actually see right here the soil was actually split in half. So you have a site for 2 and a site for 3. So if I go back to my soil here, I'm going to multiply L10 times L11, And so L10 is 192 times 122. Let me find my calculator. 192 times 122. That's 23,424 divided by 2. So I'm going to have approximately 11,700 square foot of soil for lots 1 and 2. But if you also just pay attention to the notes, even on this soil, you see that WID is also requiring an interceptor drain. So once again, in this case, on both lots, you got to have 3 foot of fall. This is a tip that a lot of people miss, or these are things that a lot of people miss when they're going to auctions. And so hopefully this prepares you when you're going to your auction, because I don't want you to experience some of the pains that I've experienced working through some of these land deals.